Alex Jones here with vital information concerning our nation's fragile food supply. Folks, there are some truly dangerous trends forming, and I think it's important for my listeners to do three things right away. Number one, study the past. History really does repeat itself. Number two, learn to spot the dangerous food shortage trends. Number three, take decisive action. A perfect storm is brewing for a global food crisis. That's why I'm telling everyone to read the new book, Rising Prices, Empty Shelves. Warning signs that trigger the deadliest famines in history. Don't get caught unprepared when the crisis hits. This book is only available at risingpricesemptyshelves.com. You'll also get a free copy of Supermarket Survival, How to Cut Your Grocery Bills in Half. Again, that website is risingpricesemptyshelves.com. That's risingpricesemptyshelves.com.
You've heard Alex explain how the Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced colloidal silver solutions, yet many are unaware of the entire function of the Silver Lungs system and how it has been designed to deliver your silver solutions anywhere in or on the body. My name is Mario Cifaldi, and I'm the developer of the Silver Lungs generator. Not only does the Silver Lungs system produce endless colloidal and ionic silver solutions, it also comes equipped with the proper applicators and devices needed to deliver your silver solutions directly to key target areas. This includes the eyes, ears, nose, lungs, topically to the skin, and orally for the digestive system. Be sure to watch our new 7-minute video tour of the Silver Lungs system at www.silverlungs.com to learn more about how the Silver Lungs system works. As well, we are always ready to answer any questions you may have. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Hey folks, this is Crazy Melvin for eFoods Direct, and I'm slashing prices to get you the best deals on your food supply. Call now and save on a 25-year food supply that can save your life when disaster strikes, because it will strike and it will smack you right upside the head, so keep...
Wait a minute, Melvin. I know eFoods Direct, and they're not full of hype like you. eFoods Direct goes to great lengths to ensure you get the best ingredients, full of nutrition and flavor. They are the real deal. Melvin, you're right about one thing, though. For Black Friday weekend, eFoods will save you 30% off anything on their website at efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Now, that's a deal with no hype. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and save 30% off your entire order. This deal only lasts through Monday, November 28th, so call now. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Remember, 30% off this Black Friday weekend. Leave the hype to Crazy Melvin, because you can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
Shackles. Don't want no shackles on me.
Yeah. Welcome back. We don't want no shackles on us either. Thank you for being part of the InfoWar effort to restore our freedom and liberty in America. Thank you for being a listener and a supporter of Infowars.com and the Alex Jones Show and all the great heroes and patriots out there who quite literally sacrifice their time with families often, to bring you this information. And thank you all of you out there for playing your part and sharing the information and doing the tweets and doing the Facebook posts and linking to the stories on InfoWars and donating money during the recent money bomb and everything that you do to keep this operation running and just kicking it out there. We are hitting it hard, because it is no time to rest. Tyranny is upon us. Freedom is within our reach, but only if we stand up right now and do what is necessary to protect it and restore it. And we are joined right now by Robert Scott Bell. We've also got callers waiting on the line. And Robert, would you be okay? How about we take a call right now?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. We do. We'll love it.
All right, let's go to Richard in Washington. Richard, you're on the air with Mike Adams and Robert Scott Bell. How you doing?
Real good. Great show. You guys kind of touched on the thing. I find it highly ironic that an MD, an allopathic practitioner, who both doctors and dentists plug the body full of toxicity, is worried about the environmental sources of this toxicity. I find that really totally ironic. But the point I majorly wanted to make was, and Robert can touch on this also, the energetic aspect is, if you study our anthropology, when we were hunter-gatherers, we didn't cook our proteins and fats above body temperature. You know, we may have put them over an open fire or whatever, but essentially our proteins and fats were in a raw form. And each of us has a choice. Putting cooked proteins and fats into our system is what causes our health situation. You can study the Kellogg Report or the works of Price or Pottinger.
Yeah, but you're not saying to eat raw meat, though, are you? Or
yes, I am.
You are? Wow.
No organism in the world cooks their food other than the humans, and which is the sickest species on the world.
Yeah, I've heard talk. You know, a lot of people talking about that, and I appreciate your comments. And it is first about you mentioned about the doctor we had on earlier. Yeah, it's interesting, but we got to give credit to those MDs who do veer off the path of just poisoning people and who start to look at the causes of disease and work on preventing it. And you know, that doctor, Dr. Lonke, is willing to put his book out there, Invisible Killers, a book that is not going to be well liked by the cancer industry. But, you know, a good point on that. Now, tell us more about the raw meat thing. So you don't think we should cook our turkeys like firebombs in vats of oil? Is that what you're saying?
No. What everybody's worried about is bacteria, molds, and funguses. But if you actually are in the parasympathetic state and you secrete hydrochloric acid, that's nothing more than food. It's only because we eat so many carbohydrates and have destroyed the parasympathetic state and our secretion of hydrochloric acid that we are no longer able to digest the raw proteins and fats and utilize those for foods. There's a whole modern perspective that is challenging our system, and instead of addressing what we should be doing naturally in our eating habits, we essentially deal with the unnatural situation we've developed and claim that's the problem. All you have to do is look at the physiology and find out that we're being miseducated.
Very good points, Richard. Robert, what's your take on that? I mean, personally, I'm not going to eat raw meat, but I do eat mostly, really, I don't know, 50% raw diet, let's say, but it's plants, not meats. What's your take on it, Robert?
It is fascinating, and the caller does bring up a good point, and that is that we have such gastrointestinal insufficiencies, inflammation, dysfunction, enzymatic insufficiencies that, you know, if a person were to go on a raw diet, as he describes, they would end up very ill because they have no way to interact with the microbial world appropriately. And we have become, over the last few centuries, a species afraid of the germ, so to speak, the microbe. Louis Pasteur, pasteurization, you know, we cover and talk about that extensively. And we've got a ways to go back to where we have the strength, or what I call the sthenic condition, you know, as we talk as a homeopath here, to be able to withstand and interact with the microbial world without, you know, it's like the Superman concept of being able to walk through walls of microbes and basically be untouched by it because we are so strong and healthy. Very few people now in the West have that level of strength. You know, funny, I was mentioning the Raw Milk Freedom Ride. I was there. Max Kane, who you know, we talked about, is a big proponent. They're wanting to do another one from Wisconsin to Chicago. And he literally had, you know, basically a bunch of ground, I don't know if it was beef, buffalo, or sheep, and he was eating it raw. I witnessed this. Had no problem. He was not contaminated. He didn't fall dead of an infection, a sepsis, or whatever, but he had worked his way back into that level of strength and vitality to be able to eat raw as we did once in the wild. But to do so as a typical American now could be very dangerous and deadly. All right. We work our way back into that.
Yeah, I am not doing the raw meat thing, folks. I'm going to cook it even if I have to set the turkey on fire. But I'm going to have a free-range turkey, some free-range turkey meat this holiday season. But good points on both sides. Thanks for your call, Richard. Much appreciated. Let's go to Ralph in Texas. Ralph, you're on the air with Mike Adams and Robert Scott Bell. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Yeah, how can we help you? What's on your mind?
Hi. I just read a report with some statistics saying that 1 in 5 Americans are on antipsychotic drugs.
Yeah, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 5 overall.
And I find this concerning. But I wanted to get your take on the role the pharmaceutical industry is playing in this New World Order plan. And, yeah.
Well, I think if you suffer from concern, that is a psychiatric condition requiring pharmaceutical treatment. Isn't that right, Robert? This caller needs some treatment. We should send him to a pharmacy.
Put some through the phone lines for him immediately because we can't have him raising such questions. I mean, in fact, the answer to the question is it's essential. Without the pharmaceutical industrial complex, the New World Order is not possible, because their ability to dampen the consciousness, weaken the will, is essential for the takeover, for the people to be sheeple, as many of the Americans have become, and old people around the world. In Europe, we've seen it recently as well, with the attack on supplements and other things, now that water can't hydrate you in Europe. As a species, if this is the case.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to even cover the water story. What about the woman who had her buttocks injected with Fix-A-Flat tire inflator? That's a good one, too. But more to your point, caller, look, don't forget that the psychiatric industry has defined another disease as oppositional defiance disorder, ODD. So if you disagree with the globalist agenda, you now have a disease. What do you think about that? I think you might be diagnosed with that. What's your take, Ralph?
Well, I think there's a concerted effort to really ruin the psyche of all Americans, and to whose benefit? You know, I think there's a lack of awareness, but you guys are doing a great job. Maybe you guys could recommend some books on holistic health.
Sure, yeah. Well, I like Elson Haas as an author. He's got some great books out there, HAAS. You could also study the DSM-4, the Psychiatric Bible. That would give you more. I say that in jest. Robert, what do you recommend as a good overall book?
That's a horrific read. I think from a wake-up call perspective, I always come back to our good friend Dr. Carolyn Dean and her books, particularly the one, Death by Modern Medicine, because when you realize the Holocaust that is in place due to FDA-sanctioned, government-sanctioned, licensed, and monopolized drugs, that's a big step to say, all right, instead of reaching for the medicine cabinet, instead of going to the doctor, including the pediatricians, the children's doctors, it's a horrific thing. If you think about it, these doctors, all they do are drug and inject children. I mean, it should be, I'm not into banning professions, but the way they behave, I would almost say we could get rid of pediatricians and we'd have much healthier children at this point.
Oh, yeah, that's totally true. Yeah, the last thing you want to do is take your child to a conventional pediatrician, because if they diagnose your child with cancer, which a lot of times is a false positive, and if you don't subject your child to that chemotherapy, they will have you arrested and your child taken away by CPS. We've reported on it multiple times.
That's right.
Okay, thank you, caller, for your call. Very, very good points. Robert, let's get the third item on your list. Otherwise, we're never going to finish our list here today. What do you got? Number 3.
Well, I mentioned the Raw Milk Freedom Riders. I just want to say, the farmers and the fellow healers out there that are standing basically up for their right to bring the healing that's necessary, even though it's not approved by government. Those that are, basically saying, here I am, come and get me. I'm not, encouraging people to go get arrested, but at the same point in time, they can't arrest everybody. So I'm still waiting to where I could say I'm grateful for the dietary supplement industry, because until they stand up, all of them en masse together, and say, here we are, we're doing what is right, we are not harming anybody, you have no authority to come and make us do the things you're trying to make us do to destroy our industry and the good products that we're providing. But having said that, it's the farmers out there that are going to be teaching all of us that have not been in that farm community to grow our own food again. I mean, that's the gratitude coming out. That's the Thanksgiving I have, and I have the message for them that please be vocal, outspoken, stand up, and begin to offer your skills to others, because we desperately need that out there.
Well said, Robert. You must be reading my mind yet again. I have a related item. The third item on my list to be thankful for this Thanksgiving Day is none other than dirt. Yes, dirt and soil, without which we would have no civilization on our planet. Soils are eroding and disappearing at a record pace. The food supply is going to be threatened. And I am currently on a ranch near Austin that has dirt. In fact, before coming on the show today, I was on a John Deere tractor. And sometimes after the show, people say, hey, Mike, how do you make your skin look so good on camera? Do you have a makeup artist? No, it's a thin layer of grime and clay from the dirt on the ranch. Makeup by John Deere. That's what I got going on here. But truly, without dirt, we wouldn't have anything in our... And where does dirt come from? Where does dirt come from? Ultimately, we got to thank the Creator. We got to thank Mother Nature. We got to thank God. We got to thank the higher powers as well. But I know our list is focused on more of the mundane things. Robert, you okay? If we take another call?
Yeah, absolutely. Having a good time with you, as always.
All right. Janice from Texas, thank you for holding, and you are on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Robert. Things to be thankful for. I'm thankful for guys like you who teach self-empowerment and not dependence of big pharma. I mean, because that's all they